Shan and RJ, 105.3, The Fan in Dallas, a fine Odyssey station. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing? We've been listening. Hell of a show you got going on there.
Thanks. How's it going down there? What do you expect Sunday?
We are expecting a win, but two things have thrown us off a little bit, at least me. What y'all did in Foxborough, I mean, I would have thought that the Cowboys would just destroy Chicago before that performance. That was really impressive against the Patriots. And then the Cowboys go out, and they're losing to the Lions at halftime, and it was a 10-6 game after 3. So now someone said you're going to have the Bears formula work against the Cowboys' weakness, which is run D. That's why they traded for Jonathan Hankins. I'm not going to laugh at that. Whereas 2 weeks ago, I absolutely would have laughed at it. But then y'all did what you did, and the Cowboys did what they did. So I'm looking at the Cowboys win, but not an embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mobile quarterback is going to be the biggest kryptonite for the Cowboys this year. When you have a mobile quarterback and a strong running game like Chicago does, that's the biggest concern there. But at the end of the day, I think there's a little bit of a talent deficit still between these two football teams, and I think Dallas is in a better position, especially now that Dak's back.
27-14, 28-16, our predictions. What are you guys thinking?
Oh.
I think I had 24-17.
Yeah, I had 29-23.
We both took Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're not, listen, the Bears are in a rebuild. They're in a tear down still.
Yeah.
They have gotten rid of a lot of players, but they're so much better coached than they were. I
They
think
are.
the thing that's extraordinary to us is how competent coaching will lead you to less errors, less dumb penalties, less dead ball penalties. That we've seen the Bears. And last week was their best game, or earlier in the week. Monday was their best game of the season. But we've seen the Bears commit fewer mistakes, and they need a clean game, obviously, against a more talented team.
Yeah, competent coaching is what Matt Eberflus has provided for the Bears. Are y'all familiar with that? Competent coaching?
When Matt Eberflus was here.
Bobby's not a big McCarthy guy who we conveniently have every Friday on the show, but I was ready to run Garrett out of town. It feels like McCarthy hasn't received full acceptance yet, despite going 12-5 last year. I mean, he was coach of the year when Cooper Rush was here, and now all of a sudden he's fallen behind Brian Daboll and Sirianni. There's this reluctance to put our arms around McCarthy in the Metroplex.
They're 5-2 right now. They went 12-5 last year. If you put it to a vote on our fan text here, I guarantee you the majority of people would say, would you fire McCarthy now to ensure Dan Quinn's the head coach? I think the majority would say yes.
Well,
Dan Quinn is who everybody's in love with.
But then
here.
tell them why you're against them with all that winning.
Because, look, I mean, offense has been a struggle for them. Game management has been a struggle for them.
I know we're supposed to fight with you guys. Sorry, we're going to fight for a second.
Okay.
They were number one offensively last year in scoring.
Right, but do we look at that and say that they ran things as efficiently as it actually went, or is that some error in those numbers a little bit? I think you guys mentioned it there. It's amazing what coaching can do to eliminate penalties and dumb mistakes and things like that. That has still been a hallmark of this Cowboys team, even when they've succeeded.
Yeah.
And game management's been an issue. And so to me, it's just I kind of go, I don't know what really you can give blame or credit to McCarthy for, because he's a little removed. It's a lot of Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn.
What do you guys think of him, McCarthy?
We think that Matt Eberflus out-coached Bill Belichick, so we think that's probably the only category that the Bears have an advantage in Sunday.
I like Mike McCarthy. I have met him. He is his dad was a cop in Pittsburgh. He reminds me of the people I grew up with on the south side of Chicago. It's sort of this almost,
rough,
very approachable, decent people that you don't kind of mess with.
Yeah,
them.
he
is
just
a
he's
normal.
genuine.
He's like a South Sider.
He's a genuine guy. He's authentic.
And that's
I like
a compliment. I like the guy. I like the whole thing with his dad and the tavern owner, the ex-cop tavern owner in Pittsburgh. They're good people there.
I agree.
I like
Mike
there's
McCarthy.
There's Midwestern values.
There is.
It's not about how big your oil well is. It's not about the size of your hat or what kind of truck you drive. It's more about
your ego.
Being a decent bloke.
He doesn't have a big ego, or at least he didn't in Green
No,
Bay.
he didn't.
I liked him in Green Bay. I liked what he did in Green Bay. I also think that after he left Green Bay, we realized just how difficult it was to coach that guy. So you had a little bit more respect for him.
Mully and Haugh, you guys got a sweet setup. We got these guys on Zoom. I wish our seats were as far away from each other as these guys are there on the score, Bobby.
I can go right across the table if you like there, Shaw.
We actually have a pandemic in Chicago. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Hey, guys, where are you now on the arrow of, I know Fields running around and everything, but people were making fun of him throwing the football this entire season. Where are you in terms of the arrow pointing on him as a franchise QB moving forward?
Well, I think the arrow was pointing up after Monday night because the Bears found out the best way to maximize his talents. And I think that he is a dynamic athlete. He's got a little special in him. And it took a while for them to tap into that. But all these designed runs, and you can measure and count if you want, and you can compare it to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, but he is their version of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And they finally, if they can continue that move in that direction, that's smart, and that's making the most out of your quarterback.
He's a bigger kid than you think, and he is capable. His running skills are excellent, and he's obviously Micah Parsons thinks he's faster, but this is another guy that is really fast. And you're talking about a guy that in the open field does some really good things. I think his ability to run, they have leaned into it, and they have really tapped into it, and thank God they've done that. He's not there as a passer yet. And, you know, here in Chicago, we don't care whether they can win in the playoffs, okay? It's not like
you guys
Lamar
are very
Jackson.
Realistic.
No, we just want them to win a bloody game.
But
We haven't seen enough.
And we do think that he might be the only player the Bears have on their offense that could outrun Micah Parsons.
Okay.
See,
But Parsons might run slower with a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
See? Wait a minute.
Is he going to play?
Mike is. I don't have any doubt that Mike is going to play on Sunday, and I know Mike is going to believe he's faster because Micah and Justin share the same agent, and so they work a lot together in the offseason. So there's probably some offseason competitiveness that's bleeding over there a little bit. But yeah, Micah should go on Sunday and should still be able to wreck the game.
I heard that you guys got our boy Michael Irvin to become a traitor on your airwaves yesterday. What did you get Michael Irvin to say?
Wasn't hard.
Oh, boy. I mean,
I just ask him a question, and he
was
told us
fantastic.
exactly what the Bears should do.
We know all the flaws and all the foibles of the local football team. We just don't know what the problems are with the Cowboys. So we asked him if he were attacking them, what would he do? And he basically joked about not wanting to give away the secret, but basically said he would spend every single play, every play in the first quarter and run at them. And run right at them and let them know they're going to be in a fight and try to bloody them up and try to punch them in the nose and not even think about passing.
I think he said make them bleed.
I said
He said make them bleed, and I think that kind of that's what the Bears are going to try to do.
Yeah.
Run the ball, and run it some more. And I know Jonathan Hankins is in town. What's he weighing these days, and how much will he play Sunday?
He looked in decent shape out at the Star this week. I don't know. He's probably a svelte 330 or something. Okay. No, he says he's going to be able to go. I think the reality of what he is here in Dallas is probably 15 snaps a game, something like that. Right. And so he'll be in there on running downs.
He'll be good after the bye. I mean, I would imagine the idea of craning that guy in and dropping him on the field is going to take some. I mean, he's obviously an immovable force, but he's a large man, and good luck catching the 4.39 speed of one Justin Fields.
Hey, I got to know what you guys feel about our big topic, of course, locally and nationally. Where are you with Dak Prescott, elite franchise quarterback?
Well, I said earlier in this show, I think Dak Prescott is not underpaid, but he is underappreciated. I think this is a guy that can win a Super Bowl. I think if he were in my organization, he would be a guy that I would trust. And you surround him with weapons, you get that offensive line, you call the smart game plan. Dak Prescott is a winner.
I'm disappointed you asked about that. I thought you were going to go rodeo or something. You said the big question.
Or are we supposed to ask you guys about Kanye or like deep dish or
not touching that one.
Poor Kanye, and we've given up carbs, so that's not a good.
Right.
It's a bad time to ask about the pizza. I would say though that Dak, one of the ideas would be probably needs like another game. He's probably still recovering, and I think the problem in the NFL is you look around and you see quarterbacks is if you've got one or a close proximity to one, you hang on to him because as much as everybody watching wants to get better, that's not how you get better. You stay with the guy and I think he's a pretty good player.
And the fear is that he is going to be more polished this game than he was last week, because more experience and just getting back into the swing of things, the speed of the game. look, the Bears' best hope is that the Cowboys already are planning for their off week and they are packed and ready to go, and they're double parked. They're going to play like they're double parked and distracted, and they're going to get out of that game, and the Bears can take advantage.
Yeah, and I think that idea that the bye week is going to serve the Bears is kind of funny coming off a short week. But that you know, they're hoping. Unfortunately, they played pretty well on Monday. Otherwise, no one would take them seriously.
So,
and that's the concern.
So
they will be taken seriously.
So we always get mad around here, lack of home field advantage, and your fan base is one of the ones that invade. Are they traveling for this? Are there a lot of Chicagoans that live
I think
here?
they will. Yeah.
After Monday, the feeling is 44-0, 1985.
That's right.
Right?
Where's Danny White?
That
should be your 10 o'clock or your guess before you break today. Get Danny White.
Hogan Boom. Yeah.
Where's Gary Hogan Boom?
Yeah.
Gary Hogan.
I don't think anybody's thought about Gary Hogaboom here since 1985.
Guys, thank you so much. This
Great
was a
talking to you
pleasure.
guys.
Thank
God
you
bless
guys.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Back
Thanks,
at
you
you.
too.